NASCAR has given us some wild moments over the years, but these incidents, they crossed the line. These incidents weren't just racing hard, they were straight up disrespectful. From helmet throws to deliberate wrecks under caution, I'm about to show you the moments that shocked even the most hardcore NASCAR fans. These are the moments NASCAR wishes you'd forget. Welcome to Track Reactions, your source for all the stories on and off the track. Please like this video and subscribe to get the latest burnt rubber. Dale Earnhardt versus Terry Labonte. The first one that comes to mind actually happened all the way back in 1999 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Dale Earnhardt Sr., known as the Intimidator, certainly lived up to his nickname that night. During the night race at Bristol, Earnhardt and Terry Labonte were battling hard for the win in the closing laps. Labonte had managed to pass Earnhardt and take the lead coming to the white flag, but Earnhardt wasn't having any of it. In the last lap, Earnhardt drove into Labonte's rear bumper, sending him spinning and crashing into the wall. Earnhardt took the checkered flag while fans showered him with a mix of cheers and boos. In the post-race interview, Earnhardt gave one of the most infamous quotes in NASCAR history. "I didn't mean to turn him around, I just meant to rattle his cage." Yeah, right. Even if you're a die-hard Earnhardt fan, it was pretty clear what happened there. The bump and run wasn't illegal in short-track racing, but doing it on the final lap to straight-up wreck someone and steal a win? That's crossing a line that even the Intimidator shouldn't have crossed. But sometimes disrespect in NASCAR isn't just about what happens on the track. Sometimes it's about what fans do when things don't go their way. And there's no better example than what happened at Talladega in 2007. Fans throwing debris at Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon had just won the Aaron's 499, and in doing so, he passed Dale Earnhardt Sr. on the all-time wins list with his 77th victory. Now you need to understand something. Talladega was Earnhardt country. The Intimidator had won 10 races there and the fans worshipped him. To make matters even more emotional, the race happened to fall on what would have been Earnhardt's 56th birthday. So when Gordon took the checkered flag under caution to break Earnhardt's record, thousands of fans showed exactly how they felt about it. Beer cans, trash, and toilet paper came raining down on the track by the hundreds. It was so bad that NASCAR officials had to escort drivers and teams to safety. The shower of debris was dangerous not just for Gordon, but for everyone at the track, including other fans. In fact, Jimmy Johnson, Gordon's teammate, pointed this out after the race. "I can't believe that people who love this sport would take the chance to hurt a kid or another person. I'm sure those cans that didn't make it to the track landed in the stands and hit somebody in the back of the head." Gordon, to his credit, handled it with class. Mostly. He did do a burnout in front of the main grandstands, which he later admitted was probably a bad decision that may have egged people on. But can you blame him? He'd just achieved something incredible and was being pelted with beer cans for it. Track president Grant Lynch had warned fans before the race that anyone throwing debris would be arrested, and sure enough, several people were handcuffed and escorted out by police, while Gordon celebrated in Victory Lane. It wasn't the first time this happened either. Gordon had faced a similar reaction when he beat Dale Earnhardt Jr. at the same track 3 years earlier. Speaking of heated moments, let's fast forward to 2011 at Texas Motor Speedway, where Kyle Busch gave us one of the most blatant displays of retaliation ever seen in NASCAR. Kyle Busch versus Ron Hornaday Jr. During a Truck Series race, Busch and championship contender Ron Hornaday Jr. made contact while trying to go 3 wide around a slower truck. Both brushed the wall before the caution came out. But what happened next left everyone stunned. Busch, clearly fuming, got behind Hornaday under caution. That's right, under the yellow flag when they're supposed to be slowing down, and deliberately pushed him into the wall at full speed. The hit was massive and immediately ended Hornaday's championship hopes. NASCAR officials were so outraged they did something extremely rare. They parked Busch for the remainder of the weekend, meaning he couldn't compete in either the Nationwide or Cup Series races at Texas. "I lost my cool, no doubt about it," Busch admitted afterward. I've been wrecked 4 weeks in a row and I've had enough of it, and I retaliated. But Hornaday wasn't buying the explanation. If they don't park him on Sunday, I'll be really upset, he said. That's just ignorant, stupid. He won't stay around to get a whipping like he's supposed to get. NASCAR ultimately fined Busch $50,000 and placed him on probation for the rest of the year. It was the first time since the Truck Series was launched in 1995 that NASCAR had parked a driver across all 3 national series. That's how serious they took it. But sometimes disrespect in NASCAR comes in more creative forms. Like in 2012 when Tony Stewart showed us all a new way to express frustration with another driver. Tony Stewart's helmet throw at Matt Kenseth. During the Bristol night race, Stewart and Matt Kenseth were battling for the lead when they made contact on lap 333. Both drivers hit the wall and lost their momentum. Stewart couldn't continue the race, but Kenseth managed to keep going. As Kenseth came back around the track on the next lap, Stewart was waiting, and he had a present for Kenseth, his helmet. That's right, Stewart stood on the track and hurled his helmet directly at Kenseth's car as it drove by. The helmet bounced off the hood of Kenseth's Ford, creating one of the most memorable images in recent NASCAR history. "We got by Matt there, and it probably wasn't the ideal pass," Stewart said after the race. "We're not going to give him that chance again. We're just going to drive through him next time." Surprisingly, NASCAR didn't fine Stewart for the helmet throw. They did confiscate his helmet, though. And in a fun twist of the story, Kenseth actually returned the helmet to Stewart in 2016 as a retirement gift, saying, "Hey Tony, for your retirement, I wanted to get you something. I think this accidentally slipped out of your hand at Bristol a couple years ago. Thought you should have it back." Now, if you think all these incidents were intense, just wait until I tell you about what might be the biggest scandal to ever hit NASCAR. One that completely changed how people view the integrity of the sport. The 2013 Richmond scandal. I'm talking about Spingate at Richmond in 2013. Going into the final race before the chase for the Sprint Cup, what is now known as the playoffs, Ryan Newman was leading and looking to secure the final spot in the championship battle. If he won, he'd bump Martin Truex Jr. out of contention. With just a few laps to go, Truex's teammate Clint Bowyer suddenly spun out all by himself in turn 4. At first glance, it looked like he might have cut a tire or been tapped from behind. The caution flag came out, bunching up the field for a restart. During the pit stops, Newman lost the lead and ultimately didn't qualify for the chase. Truex, meanwhile, gained just enough points to make it in. But things got weird. Radio communications revealed that just before the spin, Bowyer's team had been openly discussing their concern about Newman winning. Another of Truex's teammates, Brian Vickers, was mysteriously ordered to make a green flag pit stop after the restart for no apparent reason, a move that gave Truex another position. It was team orders to manipulate the race results, plain and simple, and NASCAR wasn't having it. In an unprecedented move, NASCAR fined Michael Waltrip Racing, the team of Bowyer, Truex, and Vickers, $300,000, the highest fine in NASCAR history at that point. They also docked all 3 drivers 50 points each and indefinitely suspended the team's general manager. The point deduction effectively knocked Truex out of the chase, giving his spot to Newman. The fallout didn't end there. Napa Auto Parts, Truex's primary sponsor, was so disgusted by the scandal that they pulled their sponsorship from the team entirely. Without that funding, Michael Waltrip Racing had to downsize, and they eventually folded completely after the 2015 season. All from one intentional spin. But not all controversial moments in NASCAR history involve crashes or manipulation. Sometimes it's a move so audacious, so video game-like, that it forces NASCAR to create a new rule. The 2022 Martinsville Hail Melon move. That's exactly what happened to Ross Chastain's Hail Melon at Martinsville in 2022. In the final lap of the playoff race, Chastain needed to pass several cars to secure a spot in the championship 4. Instead of trying to pass them normally, Chastain did something no one had ever attempted in a NASCAR race before. He deliberately drove straight into the wall at full throttle, riding it through turns 3 and 4 like a scene from a racing video game. The move worked. Chastain passed 5 cars in a single corner, set a new track record in the process, and secured his spot in the championship. The NASCAR world was stunned. Fans went crazy. The clip went viral even among people who'd never watched NASCAR before. But his competitors? They weren't impressed. Many drivers called the move dangerous and irresponsible, pointing out how it could have led to a serious accident if the wall hadn't held up or if his car had gotten airborne. It brought a great deal of excitement, great deal of exposure to our sport, but it also came with some scrutiny, said NASCAR Senior Vice President of Competition Elton Sawyer. NASCAR eventually banned the move before the 2023 season, saying any similar attempts in the future would result in penalties. Chastain himself admitted he had no desire to try it again, calling it the longest wreck of my life. And while most drivers manage to keep their cool most of the time, these incidents remind us that behind the wheel of every stock car is a human being with emotions, pride, and a burning desire to win, sometimes at any cost. As always, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos about NASCAR's most heated moments, make sure to hit that subscribe button.